Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Undead, finally back again. Thank you so much for your extended patience these past few weeks. This past month has been absolutely insane for me. I've had a total of 8 to 9 projects / tests in the span of a few weeks, so it has been absolutely killer. I'm finally on spring break, so expect a few more videos coming out this week, as well as a tease to my newest cinematic that is currently in the works. I hope you're looking forward to that. With all that aside, however, let's just go ahead and jump into all of the great questions that you guys asked me in the 10K video. These questions are in no particular order, so bear with me, but the first question comes from Will the Thrill, and he asks, are you planning on continuing the story after Bespin? And assuming you're talking about Hunted, we did originally have an idea to continue it, but once the developers for Battlefront 2015 scrapped the idea of the Stormtrooper Han and Stormtrooper Luke skin, we kind of put the idea on hold. Quack the Mandalorian asks, Boba or Django? And it's going to have to be by far going to have to be Boba Fett for me. Ruben's Random Stuff asks, what tips do you have for anyone hoping to make cinematics like you do? Most important tip I can give is just take your time, don't rush it, pay attention to the sound, pay attention to the music, pay attention to just having fun, really. Don't try to rush anything out, and always just take your time, and as long as you're having fun with it and you like what you make, then you're already on the right path to success. Thunder Rainbow Gaming asks, do you like cheese and what type is your favorite? I'm a pretty basic guy, so I'm going to have to go with American or Parmesan. Cameron W asks, what is your favorite class in Battlefront 2? And by far, I'm going to have to go with Officer. Everything about his kit is useful, and he's just been my favorite since launch. Battlefront Player asks, which video / cinematic was your favorite to make? And for this, I'm probably going to have to say the cinematic that I just made or the cinematic that I'm working on making at that time. So for right now, I'm really excited about this Battlefield cinematic that I'm working on right now, and my favorite cinematic by far has been, so far, the Kylo Ren versus Luke, which is a really fun challenge for me. And then before that, it was Resistance, then New Order, Hope, Hunted, you get the idea. Wicked SWBF asks, which era do you prefer the most? And this is a pretty tricky question. For as far as content and as far as just how expansive the universe is and how much just stuff there is, I would definitely say the prequel, and I think most of you guys can agree with me there. But as far as just story and just something that I think everyone can love is for me, is definitely going to be the original trilogy. If I had to rank them in any particular order, I'd probably say that my favorite is probably going to be the original trilogy, followed by the prequel, and then finally with the sequel trilogy coming in third for me personally. JC asks, who is your favorite Jedi? And that's going to have to go to Luke Skywalker or Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's really tight, and if I had to choose between the two, I'd probably say Obi-Wan is slightly higher than Luke, but they're really close. Darth Decimus Skywalker asks, who is your favorite Star Wars character? And that is easily going to have to be Darth Vader, just because of the whole story arc of him and just how influential his character is in pretty much every part of the Star Wars saga, original trilogy, sequel, prequel trilogy, and even the sequel trilogy is influenced a little bit by Vader with Kylo Ren and all that stuff. So definitely Darth Vader and the story, or I should say the tragedy of Darth Vader. Nicholas Wantland asks, what is your favorite Star Wars game and what is your favorite Star Wars movie? And my favorite Star Wars game is going to have to be the Battlefront 2015 and Battlefront 2017. Both of them are really good. I definitely prefer Battlefront 2017 over the previous, but they're both really just huge amounts of fun. Battlefront 2005 was really fun, of course. I played that a lot. And Empire of War was a big one I played as a kid, but all of them are really good. But as far as my favorite, definitely Battlefront 2017. And favorite Star Wars movie is definitely going to have to be Empire Strikes Back. Nothing Studios asks, are you planning on getting a PlayStation 4 if you haven't already and playing on there? It's something I've thought about. You know, I've definitely thought about getting a PlayStation 4 Pro or Xbox One X at some point, but they are pretty expensive, and I just don't have the money or resources to really afford that right now. But if I can in the future, who knows? I might pick one up if I have some extra money lying around. Starphase asks, how long does one cinematic take to make? And this one pretty much just varies from project to project. You know, Father and Son took 2 months. Hunted took 6. Hope took about 3.5. New Order took about a month and a half. Resistance took a month. The Kylo Ren versus Luke took about 3 weeks, so you could probably see a trend. It's taking me less and less each iteration, but it typically just depends on the length of the cinematic in the end, and just taking your time. Lord Vader asks, "How old are you?" I am currently 21 years old. Centauri asks a few questions. First of all, his favorite Star Wars quote, and that's going to have to go to Darth Vader in kind of two circumstances. One, in Episode 5, when he says, "The Force is with you, young Skywalker, but you are not a Jedi yet." And the second one is in Star Wars Rebels, when he's talking to Ezra, and Ezra pretty much says, "I'm not afraid of you," and Vader says, "Then you will die braver than most." Just so badass. He's so badass. What do you like most about Battlefront 2? I'd probably say just the amount of heroes in that entire roster. They're all just a lot of fun to play. What do you not like about Battlefront 2? And definitely my biggest thing, or my biggest gripe with Battlefront 2 is just how linear Galactic Assault is. I really miss game modes like Supremacy right about now. Best blaster in Battlefront 2? By far the SC-44C with rapid fire. That thing's a monster. And which cinematic are you most proud of? I would say I'm definitely incredibly proud of my Kylo Ren versus Luke one, just trying to get that one as close as I can to the real thing, as well as Resistance. That one was so much fun to make. Darkest Light or Soups asks, "What do you miss most about Battlefront 2015? Definitely private matches and Supremacy. If there's any feature that you could have in the Cine tools, what would it be? As far as Battlefront 2, most likely the ability to do custom animations. How are you introduced to Star Wars and sci-fi in general?" My dad is a scriptwriter and has written a lot of movies, so naturally when I was younger he just introduced me to a lot of movies and a lot of sci-fi stuff, of course, and it just interested me, and the rest is history, really. Describe your perfect Star Wars game. Pretty much Battlefront 2, just with more game modes such as Supremacy that's not linear, more characters, more maps, stuff of that nature. So pretty much just Battlefront 2 but with a lot more content. Rub, promote, and ban Green Soups Rob. Rub, Soups, promote, Rob, and ban Green. Favorite movie ever? Probably something like Interstellar, although that, my favorite movie changes like on a daily basis essentially. But right now I'm gonna have to say Interstellar. I'm just a huge fan of space. Favorite director? It's tough. It's between Christopher Nolan and Quentin Tarantino. If you can move to anywhere in the world, where would it be? Probably California, somewhere in there. What do you think of the British people? I think they are quite lovely. And finally, random question 11. Do you believe in the soul? And yes. Phantom Fox asks, if you could choose a Star Wars spin-off character, who would it be? And I would definitely want to see a Star Wars spin-off movie on either Obi-Wan Kenobi, definitely, or Boba Fett. Either two, I would love either one. Tristan Ross asks, what are you studying at college and why? And I'm currently studying game design because as someone who's played games my whole life and still does quite a bit, I would love the opportunity to work and create some games in the future, and I feel like this is the best path to do that. Clone Commando asks, do you think we could get the Praetorian Guards as reinforcements, and also do you think we could get Supreme Leader Snoke in Battlefront 2? It's possible. I don't think it's likely, but it's possible. Ice Miss asks, is it true that you have a nickname that's Undaddy? And yes, Ice, because you gave it to me. Logi C, and sorry if I mispronounced that, asks, what keeps you going, and is this your dream to make a Star Wars film of your own? Just what keeps me going is just you guys, honestly. Every single time I make a video and just the really overwhelmingly positive response that you guys give me and all the great feedback, it just makes it such a dream, and you guys are just so amazing, and that's what really keeps me going on a daily basis. And as far as making a Star Wars film, I mean, yeah, provided I have a lot more years of experience, I wouldn't say no. Smithanati Confirmed asks, what other games you enjoy playing other than Battlefront 2? And there's a few. They change really, on a weekly basis at this point. We have Escape from Tarkov, which is my most recent game that I've been getting wrecked in. We have Company of Heroes 2, Rainbow Six Siege, Battlefield 1, just so much. There's a lot of other stuff. Dominic Wantlin asks, when will your next cinematic be? And since this video has come out, the Luke versus Kylo Ren cinematic has come out. But as far as my next one after that, though, it's going to be a Battlefield cinematic, and it's going to be coming soon. TM. Terrastone asks, why did you start YouTube? And this is a good question. Way back in 2012, I saw some videos that really inspired me to really start making videos. And once I started making videos, I kind of discovered a knack or a interest in making story-driven content that started with my Arma 2 series called The Hero. And from there, it's kind of just evolved and evolved until it's gotten to the point where it is now. And it's been just a whole great journey and a really fun adventure so far. And what is your favorite Star Wars movie and why? And you already know that it's The Empire Strikes Back, but as far as why, mostly the tone and just the seriousness of it. It took itself pretty seriously. Of course, it's still Star Wars, so there's a little bit of humor in there. But it was a departure from Episode 6 and stuff like that, where it's really lighthearted in some cases or in some areas. But I just love the tone of Episode 5, and overall, just a really great film. Rodian TV asks, why the name Undead Pathfinder? And there's a few reasons. First of all, Undead Toast didn't really feel like it represented me in any really sense, because for one, I'm not really that big of a fan of toast. Sorry to break it to everybody. But Undead Pathfinder, because for one, Undead's just been a thing for a while now, so I kept it, definitely. And Pathfinder's twofold, because I like to find my own ways to do things and just kind of figure out how things work, as well as Mass Effect Andromeda, rip in peace, which turned out to be not a good game, but I'm a huge fan of Mass Effect, and it's just kind of adding a tack of Mass Effect onto my name. And as far as Undead, it's also dual purpose because my sleep schedule is so screwed up right now that I wake up really late, so it's kind of like I'm a zombie, so haha, jokes. And final question is from Blinksinator asking, do you ever think you will branch out to other games, and would you ever consider making a second channel for just posting content that wouldn't normally show up on your main channel? And yeah, I definitely would branch out to other games. It's just a matter of figuring out how I want to handle content on my channel with other games, how I would want to make content, and what type of content I would want to make. But as far as making a second channel, no, not really, just because I've worked hard on this channel right now, and I would like to, optimistically speaking, I like to think that people subscribe for me rather than a specific style of content. Whether that's the case or not, that's not for me to really decide. But no, I wouldn't make a second channel. Everything would just go up on this. And with that, that is the end of this Q&A. Everybody, thank you all so much for your truly amazing questions. That was so much fun to do. If I didn't get to answer your question, I'd love for you to ask it down below, and I'd be more than happy to answer it down there. But that is about it for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, guys, I will see you in the next one. Catch you later.